In this video, I'm going to try and give you some advice which will hopefully help you stay on top of learning to drive during lockdown. England is in its second lockdown and plenty of people have tests booked for after the lockdown, and they're going to be able to do no lessons, and then suddenly they're going to have to do their test again. And even if your test is in a couple of months after lockdown, this month break is going to cause, well, it's going to hurt your progress. So hopefully in this video, I can help you maintain your progress, at least not go backwards, stay on top of your driving, and hopefully go forwards. I do feel for anyone who has had their test cancelled because of the lockdown. You must be quite devastated knowing that you're preparing for your test, it's coming up, and then like that, you're no longer able to do it. Keep going though, you'll get another test. Just stay positive. You will be a priority. I'm not actually sure what's going to happen at the moment. No one really is, but last time that happened, the people who had their tests cancelled became a priority when it come to rebooking tests. Hopefully during lockdown, you can still get some driving practice in. You'll need access to a car. You'll need access to a supervisor that you're allowed to spend time with during lockdown. They must be 21 years old or more and have held a license for a minimum of 3 years. You'll need to be insured on the car, which is where Collingwood can help, because you can insure yourself on a friend or family member's car without affecting their policy, but more on that one later. And you'll only be able to do essential journeys. So you can't go out in the car for practice for an hour for the sake of practicing, like you can't have a driving lesson at the moment. I can't give driving lessons. And also finally, I highly recommend you consult your driving instructor first to ask them if you're ready for private practice. Because if you're not ready, I don't recommend doing this because it could be dangerous. You want to make sure that you're at a standard where you can drive a car safely with supervision and without dual controls. Here are 3 bits of advice for supervising learners. This is directed at the supervisor, by the way, so if you're the learner, maybe you want to show this bit of the video to who's going to be supervising you. Give the person learning to drive lots of time when it comes to directions. Tell them really early so they got loads of time to process that information and think about what they got to do without getting stressed out. Also, don't expect them to drive exactly as you do. They have been taught to drive in a way that requires a minimal amount of skill because new drivers don't have much skill, so you have to show them methods that require low skill. For example, as you approach a junction, you may go down 1 gear at a time, but a learner most of the time won't. Also, expect them to take longer at everything. They're going to take longer to speed up, longer to slow down. They're going to need bigger opportunities at junctions. Don't rush them. They need the extra time for their lower skill level. Their skill does improve, but that takes time. And whilst their skill is improving, they're going to be slower, gradually getting faster. So don't rush the learner. Rushing learners rarely, there are circumstances where it might help, but rushing a learner rarely leads to good results. This part of the video again is directed back at the learner. You can use my videos. I've spent a lot of time creating many videos now. I believe there's over 90 videos covering most topics. I am still adding to them, but hopefully if you have a problem with driving, those videos will help you resolve that problem. And just watching them in general will hopefully give you a better understanding of what you need to do so that when you're out in the car, you've got the knowledge to improve your skill. You see, there's 3 main things you need when it comes to learning to drive. There's actually 4, but say 3. Knowledge, skill, and confidence. The 4th is focus. Most people have that anyway, but for some, that is something they need to focus on, improving their focus. But the main 3 things, knowledge, skill, and confidence. I can't give you skill via a video. Skill takes practice, but I can help you gain knowledge, which will help you develop your skill. And having that bit of knowledge as well, will also boost your confidence a little bit. So watch the videos, especially the areas that you're struggling with, and then practice it. Getting as little as 30 minutes practice in a week will do a world of good, but the more the merrier. Also, stay on top of the theory as well. Even if you've passed the theory test, studying the theory will help give you confidence when you're driving because you will know all the road laws and the road signs. And brush up on show me, tell me questions as well. Keep on top of those so that when you go to do your driving test, you know you've got time now to do that. Well, I don't know how much time you've got. Some people are more busy than others, but if you can't do your driving lessons, you could do the theory and the show and tell questions so that when you go to your driving test and your driving examiner asks, how do you check your oil? You know. What's the minimum tread depth for your tyres? You know. That's a good start to a test when you know those answers confidently. That helps you start on the right foot. Now I want to mention Collingwood Insurance and Confused.com. If you are going to practice in a friend or family member's car, using Collingwood will allow you to use their car without affecting their policy or risking their no claims bonus. It takes away some of the stress when it comes to learning to drive because your supervisor knows that you're not risking their policy, which means a lot to many people because insurance can be expensive. You can have short-term policies and long-term policies, and if you cancel the long-term policy after lockdown, you will get a pro rata refund. So see which one is cheaper, work out which one is the cheapest for you. And if you use the link in the description, there's up to 35% off and a £20 Amazon gift card. Also, that link supports the channel, so if you do use that link, thank you very much. If you're insuring your own car or you just want to compare many insurers, I recommend checking out Confused.com because Confused.com compares many insurers and it also allows you to tailor the quote. So once you've made a quote, you can then make adjustments. You can change the excess, you can add additional drivers, take additional drivers off to see what comes out cheaper without having to do the whole quote again. Again, using the link in the description does support this channel. I'm also going to leave a link in the description to Focus Multimedia's 4-in-1 theory test app. They're not paying me, I'm not sponsored by them, but it's just the app I recommend to people. I recommend it to my customers, and it was the one that I used when I was learning to drive, although it wasn't an app because we didn't have apps back then. It was actually a CD-ROM for my computer. But in my experience, that gets people through the theory test. It got me through the theory test, and it's a really good, well-polished app. Since August, I've been beavering away making new videos because I was afraid something like this might happen. And as a result, I have a nice little stockpile of videos that I'm going to upload, one every Monday at 6 PM, and I can keep that going for a little while. And also I can still make new videos because not all videos require demonstrations, such as this video now and my overcoming anxiety video I did a couple of months ago. So if you want to get my future videos and you haven't already, please subscribe. If you think this video is helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And until the next one, cheerio.